working together every week, you going up against them, like that's gonna rub off on you, like for real. Like it helped a lot for sure.
That's great. And you're currently committed, signed to Butler.
Yes, sir.
Going to go to JUCO up there. What kind of made your decision to go there? Why Butler over some other places?
Pretty much, I ended off like in the off season when I was actually playing for Epic. I was taking a lot of visits to D1 schools, and then once the season started, like a lot of those fell off. But fortunately, I was still blessed to get a lot of JUCO offers. I got JUCO offers from pretty much every JUCO in the country. I went up to Iowa Western, visited up there, and then I actually only took 2 JUCO visits, and that was Iowa Western and Butler. And after I was in the car with my mom on the way back from Butler, I'm like, man, that felt like home. So
there you go.
Yeah, so I ended up talking with my coaches, and they had a good plan for me of what they want me to do and how I can be successful up there. And, like, I just told them, like, I'll play anywhere on the field. Anywhere you put me, I'm just trying to get on the field. So that's really my mindset of going up there. And so I'm just excited to get, playing for Coach Abbott. He's pushed out, him and Coach Sanders pushed out a lot of good DBs. Deron Lowe went to Aquinas, went to Butler to play running back, I'm pretty sure. They changed him to corner. Now he's at UTEP playing D1 defensive back. So, I'm just trying to let Coach Sanders, Coach Abbott lead the way, and I just want to be, like the next one out. So
yeah. I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that's what it's all about, really. At that JUCO level, getting those 2 years in, and then being able to come out,
right.
D1 on the other side,
right? And
really that hinges on, you as the athlete once you get there, putting in the work,
right.
and the time it takes. I mean, Butler does have a rich history of winning and
right.
producing some great athletes. So, that's definitely a place where you can go and grow and. So that's kind of a good introduction, but really kind of what brought us to bring you out here tonight was you started the I Can't Help Foundation last summer.
Yes, sir.
And you did a drive for coats in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what brought you to start the foundation and doing the coat thing in the winter, and then we'll talk about what you're currently working on.
So pretty much, I grew up in the Kansas City area, right down off 51st and Lydia. We lived there a lot with my grandmother, me, my mom, and my brother. And my mom was a single mom. Then she met the person she's with now, and that helped a lot. So pretty much, we weren't completely poor by any means, but it was struggles at times. But my mom did everything. She was a go-getter. She's blessed to have her. She ended up going back to school and got her nursing degree, and now she's a LPN. So that was a blessing, which really led me to Blue Valley North and just a full scenery change from the inner city to Blue Valley North. But just growing up down there, you see so much poverty, so much like stuff going on, and pretty much I just got tired of asking myself, like, why isn't anybody doing anything to help? Like, because, like, you see trash everywhere. You see, like, people in the corners when it's cold. Like, mothers walking with children when it's cold, and, like, they don't have on coats. Like, nobody's helping them. So I really just had to stop asking myself, like, why is nobody helping them? And I'm like, I'm going to be the one to do it. Like, this is my city. Like, this is where I come from. So I got to give back. And so I talked to my mom. I came up with a name. She just kind of sat in the background, let me do it all while, encouraging me and, like, advising me on what to do. So I came up with a name, started an Instagram account, Twitter account, and I posted about it, and, like, a lot of my friends were like, yeah, bro, like, if you did this, like, we'll help out. So I was actually supposed to do a back-to-school drive, and then my little brother had got sick. He was fighting a brain tumor. And so once we got past that, I'm like, I can't let that stop me. So I started it back up. And in the winter when it got really cold, me and one of my friends, we went down to, like, Troost. We was down in Purcell, like, all that down there in Kansas City. And we were just really stopping in the middle of the streets at stop signs, finding homeless people giving out coats and stuff. So then, yeah, that's pretty much how it started, and our next event's coming up soon.
Yeah, that's great. The next event is on April 20th from 2 to 4 p.m.
Yes, sir.
At Marlboro Community Center. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you guys are going to do down there?
So basically, we're just the event actually is called Come Together KC, and pretty much we're just gonna go down. We're giving out free haircuts to kids from pre-K to high school, free haircuts, giving out clothes for Easter Sunday. Because I know like some parents just need that extra push, they just need that extra help, and like oftentimes a lot of people go unhelped because they're so ashamed to ask. And I just want to make it clear that, like I was one of those kids, we didn't have everything. So I used to be, drowning in those same waters. So it's not shameful to ask for help. And my grandma always said, like, it takes a nation to raise a kid. So I just want to, point out that everybody's welcome. So we're going to have free haircuts, giving out church clothes. We're going to have a bouncy house down there for the kids. Trying to get some Chiefs players to come out, sign some autographs and stuff. We're going to have a DJ, food. It's pretty much just trying to give back to my community.
All right. And again, that's at Marlboro Community Center. If people want to get involved, or if they have stuff they can donate, or would just like to show up and help out, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
They can contact me by email. We have iCanHelpFoundation@gmail.com. It's actually ICHF1. Or they can contact me on Twitter at Stephon Camp 21. Twitter's more where I do a lot of my communication at. So if they want to donate, they can donate. They can contact me, and we can just get it from there.
Yeah, a lot of people, you guys listening, you like to do spring cleaning. If you have some old, gently used clothes,
right?
Reach out to Stephon and figure out, hey, let's get this stuff donated. I mean, if it's just taking up room in your closet, you're going to get rid of it anyway. Just reach out and donate it, and help some less fortunate kids, to have those clothes, and they're going to get haircuts. And,
yes, sir.
I mean, all that stuff. And if you are listening and you're somebody that does need help, then feel free to reach out and come down to the event. Again, that's April 20th, 2 to 4 p.m. at the Marlboro Community Center. Come and get some help. And sometimes it just takes a little bit to get you going again.
Right.
And I mean, I feel like we've all been there and had those times where we need a little help, and just show up and get the help you need. I mean, this is a great event. We'll definitely retweet from our Twitter at Midwest Mikes and share on our Facebook page, Instagram. It's all under Midwest Mikes. We'll definitely share all the information, and that way people can know. Again, it's at Stephon Camp 21. That's his Twitter. He said that's the best way to communicate with him. So anything else that you want to talk about with the foundation, or anything else in general?
Just like donations would be huge, because we're nonprofit. So everything I'm doing on my own. So pay for the the building and all that. So we have all that set. Just come out. It's a community event. Even if you don't want to get like a free haircut or something like that, just come out. We're just gonna be having a good time, because I feel like a lot of bad light is shed on my community in Kansas City, in the inner city for the teens at most. A lot of, bad stuff gets shed on that. So I just wanted to make a difference. I want to prove that, there is some good out there, and it's not all just about, the bad stuff. So just come out, have a good time. We're just going to be out there for 2 to 4. We're just going to be giving back. So if you want to help give back, if you want to donate, you want to just be there to support, everybody's welcome.
Again, I mean, that's fantastic. This is coming from a high school senior. So, hey, there's no reason that you can't help in your corner of the world, or the United States, wherever you guys are listening. If you are in Kansas City, then, hey, donate some clothes or some time to help out. he like I said, reach out to him on Twitter, Stephon Camp 21, and find out how you can get involved. Maybe you can't help with this event. Maybe the next one will work better in your schedule. Just again, reach out and try to get involved. All right. Thanks again to Stephon Camp joining us on the show and talking about his I Can't Help Foundation. Again, reach out to him on Twitter at Stephon Camp 21. Super impressive young man.
Yeah, I was
high school senior.
Yep, very, very cool. I know when I was his age, I wasn't into starting non-profit foundation. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't even thinking about that stuff. So for him to be into that and doing something bigger than himself, and also focusing on football and his grades and all that other stuff, like it's super impressive. Yeah. So very, very cool to have him on the show. And we'll have him on again after the event's done, and we'll talk about it again.
Yeah. Moving on, we did launch our new website last week after we had put up the show. So you can now go to midwestmics.com, midwestmics.com, to get a link to the show, which if you're listening to this, you already listened to the show, but you can also get a link to all of our social media pages from One Stop. As we get going, if we're doing events, we'll post events on there, different things that you can come check out. I'll try to get something up about the I Can't Help Foundation here in the next couple days. But this weekend, we had the Final Four. It took place in Minneapolis. And in the first game of the evening, we had Virginia versus Auburn. And Virginia won 63-62. Very close game. Pretty exciting game. Kind of a missed double dribble from the officials there toward the end. But, we try not to get too hard on officials there. Second game was Texas Tech, Michigan State. Texas Tech won by 10.
Yeah,
61-51.
Yeah, Tech played really well both games, but they were very impressive that game.
Yeah, so again, Final Four, Virginia and Texas Tech both won their games and moved on to the championship game last night. I watched every minute of that game, and watching those two teams compete was amazing.
Really, really good game. It's funny. It's another one of those games where you can kind of tell that Virginia is the more talented team, but Tech they hustle and they play D and they just they played them really tough. But overtime was kind of the deciding factor there, and that's kind of when the better. I think no doubt. I think if Virginia plays Texas Tech, I think Virginia win. If they play 10 times, I actually have Virginia winning 7 of those times. And 3 of them, the hustle and gets them. But Virginia is supremely talented, and that showed off in OT. So
definitely, there was a couple different times where Texas Tech would get down by 10, 8 or 10, and then they would get back in the game. And I felt like when they got it into overtime, they had the momentum. I really thought they had a chance, but then once they kind of got down in overtime, it just seemed like they didn't have any energy left to climb back in it.
Yeah, it's a game of basketball's a game. We talk about get basketball's games a run, and basically when the team you're playing goes on a run, then you got to answer that run with one of your own, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what Virginia did every single time. Tech kind of caught back up. Virginia would go on a little run, and then Tech would, and so that was a really good game. It was. The tournament was really nice this year. Kind of crazy that everybody's favorite Duke didn't make it in, which actually was fine. It worked out really well because these games were awesome.
Mm-hmm. They were really good.
So and really cool to see Auburn. Auburn was hustling, and really Auburn had. You think about it, Auburn really kind of should have beat Virginia. I mean, really, with that. I'm not, and that's not officiating there. I think some people got on them for calling that foul. It was a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul.
Sorry, don't foul some guy. Don't foul him shooting a 3.
Shooter.
Now, he might have made that 3-point shot and it would be in the same boat. Don't foul 3. Just don't do it. So that's kind of what happened there. Overall, I thought the tournament was awesome, and I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I actually I doubled my money that I started with in the tournament, so
What did you bet on? What did you take Monday night?
I did take Texas